go.
All right. Top 5 coaches poll underrated teams. Number 5, NC State at 13. I think you can bump them up a little bit more. Granted, I think Clemson might be a little too high at 4. Not that they shouldn't be in the top 10 or 12, but sometimes maybe don't just give them the benefit of the doubt. Make some of these. I think the only 3 teams that have earned the benefit of the doubt are Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia. Everybody else, to me, has a little less benefit of the doubt in that set. And I think NC State is going to be the team that Clemson worries about the most this year in the ACC.
Yeah, well, man, they got the quarterback. That's a good starting point. Got a good coach as well. Devin Leary, ACC preseason player of the year. They're obviously getting a little bit of respect. I mean, to be top 15 right out of the gates. But, yeah, I think it's like, well, it's Clemson and then who else? And it'll be curious to see, but they certainly I was surprised to see them as high as they were because I feel like they've kind of been getting slept on a little bit, but I think that that's actually respectable. I don't think that they're so good that you go like, yeah, they're top 5. Let's get crazy. But top 13, let them earn a little bit more. That's fine with me.
Yeah. Number 4, Utah at 8. I would actually have them above Notre Dame right now. I think this Utah team has done more than the Notre Dame team to prove that they need to be in the top 5. And I think Notre Dame's going to be very good. But I think Utah at 8 is a little bit underrated for them.
Notre Dame was 5. A&M was 7.
Mm-hmm. I would put them over A&M
Michigan was 6.
I sure as hell put them over A&M. Yeah. Like, how are they not in front of A&M?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not trying to bash on the Aggies, but like that one to me, right away, that's a no-brainer. I'm trying to pull the top 25 back up. I had it earlier to see who all they were behind, but
no, it was Michigan at 6, A&M at 7.
Okay, yeah.
Notre Dame was 5.
I'd have them, probably a couple spots higher.
Yeah.
For sure over A&M.
Yeah,
I'd have to look more at Michigan. I haven't studied them a ton, but yeah.
Yeah. Number 3, to me, Arkansas at 23. Like, I'm glad that they're in the poll at 23. It's good for Arkansas that they're getting preseason ranked, but I think they might be better than the 23rd ranked team in the country. Now, granted, they lose Traylon Burks, and that's a huge loss to that offense, but I really like what Sam Pittman's doing there, and I think this is a team that's going to finish higher than 23rd in the country. I really do.
If they were in a different conference, there'd probably be a lot more talk about them, right?
Yeah.
Or I mean, more than there is out there. But yeah, I mean, they seem like they've been in a good groove now. I just think anytime it's the SEC and it's not somebody named like 2 or 3 of the teams, like in this case it'd be Alabama and Georgia for starters, then yeah, it's a little bit harder to kind of I guess earn your ranking or earn your mark. I don't know. I just feel like because they're in the Western Division, it's automatically assumed that they're going to have at least a couple of losses. But no, I expect them to be very good. Kendall Briles back at it again with that offense, and should be fun defensively as always. So yeah, I think Arkansas is going to be pretty fun.
Yeah. Number 2, Kentucky at 21. Look, this is the best Kentucky team they've had coming back in a long time. Will Levis, the quarterback. It's Levis, right? Not Levis. Levis. Will Levis. The quarterback coming back. This is the most hyped they've been at quarterback. They're in the SEC East, so the only team that they really have to worry about in front of them that's really scary is Georgia. Everybody else is in the same kind of pack altogether, Tennessee and Florida and, well, I mean, that's probably about it in the SEC East as far as teams that you worry about jumping up and biting you. Mark Stoops has slowly but surely, I don't want to say slowly, but steadily built up that team there at Kentucky. And I think 21's a little too low. And part of this is that I think Texas is a little too high. So I think both Arkansas and Kentucky and my number 1 team should all be ranked over Texas. And that, I like what Kentucky's got coming back. I really do.
They've done a good job of building up that program. And I just think that, again, it's an SEC team. You kind of figure out where they're going to fit into the big picture. Yeah. But, I mean, in the East, for starters, they're behind Georgia. That's number 1. Tennessee, I know there's a lot of expectations for them. And outside of that, not so much. I mean, because I don't think anybody's really expecting a whole ton out of Billy Napier in year 1 necessarily. He's got some work. Like, I think people think he'll be successful, but it's not right away. Mm-hmm. Kentucky's right in that mix behind Georgia. With Tennessee, I'd say primarily for, runner-up in that division, but certainly a top 25 team to start off with and somebody you're not overlooking on your schedule by any means. So, yeah, it's been cool to see Kentucky have this rise here under Stoops.
Yeah. And number 1, Houston at 25. Yeah. Way too low for Houston. This is a team that really rolled through the last part of last year really well, got a lot back. Look, I'm not telling you that they're going to win a national title, but I think they're going to be a lot higher than 25 at the end of the year. This one to me just reeks of whether they AAC, let's put them at 25.
Well, that's probably true, and perhaps right off the top, the Texas Tech game, we'll find out something pretty quickly. Houston has UTSA on their schedule as well. Is that correct? That's not going to. That they are underrated.
Do they? I don't think.
I thought they did.
No, UTSA plays Texas early on, but I mean they might. I don't know. You just do that. I don't know. But go on.
No, go. Yeah. You guys can just discuss if you want.
I think that this is going to be a good team this year that's better than 25th. And, maybe I'm a little on the Tim Brando scale of where do you want, are you rating them right now or shouldn't you be rating them where you think they're going to be at the end of the year? I like his methodology a little bit better. So, I think they're going to be better than the 25th team in the country. Yeah,
they open up with UTSA, and then they play Texas Tech.
Okay, didn't know that was the first game. That'll be awesome then. Yeah, that'll be a good.
Both on the road.
That'll be a good tell then, and maybe that's part of the reason why is just because people look at the beginning of that schedule. But no, I think that Houston's going to be really good. I hate that Alton McCaskill got hurt because he was a damn good running back last year that probably not a lot of people knew about, and he was going to be really freaking good this year and tore his ACL. So that's a real dadgum shame. But you got Clayton Tune back at quarterback. He's a long mainstay veteran at this point. I mean, guy's been playing for like 6 years. So, yeah, love their skill talent. Would really have loved it with McCaskill, but Holgerson's got a good. He made a good move. I know West Virginia fans, obviously have beef, but he's set up well in Houston, and it makes sense.
I know on the road in San Antonio and in Lubbock to Houston's is still kind of a longer plane ride, but they leave the state of Texas 3 times to go to Memphis, Navy, and East Carolina, and that is really favorable when you're not going to be taking long trips over the year.
And in the American Conference, there's always a couple of teams each year that rise are better, like Baylor was last year in the Big 12. They'll have a couple of teams who will be better than maybe you think, and that's the way it is, I guess, really in all conferences. All right, thanks to Levi Caraway, Emery Winter, also